our program today. Last time you were here and we really enjoyed your discussion.
Thank you.
You took us through Fathers of the Nations and it was perfect.
Thank you.
Today, is it John Lara or is going to be Paul B. Vita?
So today is still going to be Paul B. Vita, Fathers of Nations.
Yes.
So today I want to bring a different topic.
Yes.
And today I want to demystify
Yes.
the character Thaddeus LONGWAY.
That is great. That is what I
Mostly known
wanted.
as Thad LONGWAY.
Thad LONGWay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I wanted. Let me take my soda out here as you carry out with the discussion.
It's okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Continue.
you. Thank you. So, hello viewers. Today, as you've heard, I want to demystify the character Thaddeus LONGWAY, commonly known as Thad LONGWAY. So, Mr. Thad is a very important character in Paul B. Vita's Fathers of Nation. So, he's the one responsible for bringing together all these four gentlemen. We call them the Path Alpha 4. So let me start by introducing Thad LONGWAY. So Mr. Thad LONGWAY is about 50 plus years old, and he works as the director of special projects at AJDA. So AJDA in full is the Agency for Governance and Development in Africa. So he's about 50 plus years old, and he's based in Cape Town in South Africa. So he's the one responsible for recruiting Dr. Afolabi as an advisor to the heads of state at the summit. He also is also responsible for recruiting the other four observers for Path Alpha. So he meets the observers at different locations and at different times. So he is a white man. Thad LONGWAY is a white man. He's not black. So South Africa, they have this society of the whites. So Thad belongs there. So he's a white man. So we can imagine how he looks and sounds. He's 50 plus years old. So even we have some vivid description on page 38. If you can check, it says that 50 plus years old with green eyes and a voice like a lion's roar. So that is the introduction, just a brief overview of who Thaddeus LONGWAY is. So I want to move very first to his character traits. So how is Thad LONGWAY portrayed in the novel The Fathers of Nations by Paul B. Vita? Is he really important? Do we have to look at his character traits? Of course he is, and that is what I'm going to. First, Thad, being a white man, of course, he's tactful, he's shrewd. You can say he's tactful, he's shrewd, he's convincing, he's clever. Why am I saying this? First, he influences and recruits the Path Alpha 4 into supporting Path Alpha. So, and even influences Dr. Afolabi. You see, this is a doctor. He has a doctorate, but he's responsible for influencing Dr. Afolabi, who had been hired as an advisor. He had been hired earlier as an advisor to the heads of states to adopt Way Omega. So he had been hired, but Thad somehow finds a way of influencing or convincing Dr. Biola Afolabi to support the Path, the Path Alpha. So you see, earlier on he was supposed to support the Way Omega. And then secondly, why am I saying that Thad is tactful or clever? So secondly, he tactfully swaps a sitting position on the flight back to Nigeria. Remember when Thad Abiola is going to see he's going to Nigeria. So Thad is there. How does he know that Abiola is traveling in that flight? So this person is very intelligent because he has an agenda. He has a mission to accomplish. So he's going to accomplish it whether or come what may. So he tactfully swapped position in the flight so that he can sit next to Abiola, so that he can convince him more to support the Path Alpha. And then next, why am I saying again that he's a shrewd character? First, Again, terms Path Alpha as being the bird in hand that is worth two in the bush. Look at that proverb. He knows that this proverb resonates well with the old heads of states. And remember, these people are old, and you know, old people they like using what? Wise sayings. So he carefully picks these proverbs that he knows will resonate well with the heads of state. So he uses the proverb which he knows the head of state will relate to, and thus is able to swing the opinions on the agenda being discussed. Remember, all these heads of states are coming to the summit to do what? To support the way of Omega. But when they come there, Thad, using all those four comrades, have already convinced. He's already convinced them to support the Path Alpha, and him using that proverb, he knows that this is going to relate well with the heads of state, being that their age. These people like using proverbs a lot, and that is how he finds his way out. Then another trait I want to look at is that Thad. We can say that Thad Longway is a very informed or knowledgeable character. So why am I saying this? So at some point he admits that he has never met Professor Kimani. But what does he say about him? How does he know Professor Kimani? Because they have never met, he doesn't know him. But he admits that I've never met Professor Kimani, but I've heard about him, and I've read a lot about him. So is somebody who is not knowledgeable or informed cannot even have time to read about somebody. So he's very informed, and through his reading is why he has known Professor Kimani. So that Thad is a very informed character. And number two, why am I saying that he's informed? So he argues with facts. You know, Thad is clever. He argues with facts that African presidents have failed our nation. So he brings out facts, and then he says that he knows the problem facing Africa. So he lives in Africa. Of course, South Africa is in Africa. So he lives in Africa. He knows very well the problem facing Africa. And he says that there are how many problems? 3 problems. So this is what? Poverty, ignorance, and disease. So at the inception, at independence, Africans already suffering from these 3 problems. But when the president took over independence, we expected the president to do what? To eradicate all these 3 problems. But what do they do in return? What are the president doing to eradicate these things? So instead of doing away with these 3 monsters facing Africa, they add to their problem. So he says, but instead of eradicating the presidents have added corruption and impunity. So he looks at the way the presidents are dealing with their subjects. The common wananchi, the citizen, and he's not pleased. And it is indeed true. Because the corruption is still there, impunity is still there. So this is what makes Thad Longway to stand out as a character. Very informed and very knowledgeable. And even when he's approaching these people, he's already known them. He knows who Abiola is. He knows who Professor Kimani is. Of course, he has read about him. To be a professor, of course, you have to have some writing that people can read on. So that is Thad Longway. So I want us to look at the importance or the role. Why has Paul B. Vita chosen to use the character Thad Longway? What is he bringing to the table? What flesh is he adding to Paul Vita's novel Fathers of Nation? So number 1 role is that Thad has been used to further the development of plots by championing for Path Alpha at the summit. So remember the play and the summit is all about Path Alpha, Way Omega. So in that it is helping to develop the plot. And secondly, why is Thad Longway used? So it brings out he brings out the best in other characters. Look at all these 4 comrades. All these 4 comrades, they have something against their president. They have something against their president and their nation. So these 4 comrades, they're all learned, they're all educated, and we expect somebody like a professor to live a little bit of style. But how does Professor Kimani live? So it is only Thad Longway who sees that these people indeed deserves what? Deserves better. So in the novel, he acknowledges that Professor Kimani and Afolabi are knowledgeable enough to champion the doctrines of Path Alpha. So he knows these people have been mistreated, he feels for them, and that is why he identifies them. And thirdly, why is he used? He builds on the theme of education. So by recruiting a knowledgeable team in Professor Kimani, Abiola, Tahir, and Merusi. Because when you check out the background of these people, all these people are learned, they are informed, they are knowledgeable. So he builds on the theme of education, champions for education. And to me, he insists that somebody who has gone through much education, has acquired a lot in the field of education, deserves to do what? To live better. And that is why he picks on these 4 characters. So I think that is all to do with the Thad Longway. Thank you for listening, and please be glued to our YouTube channel because we still have a lot of content to present. Thank you.